What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What up?
So, dude, you have a lot going on.
We do.
Too much.
Yeah. So, a lot of people listen and watch know Jose. They don't know Colby. So, talk about you a little bit, man.
I'm just one of the other guys at the 7 Tap, man. Been in with these guys for a while now. You know, met in the homebrew club and stuff, and brewed a lot of beer together. Traveled a lot together. Nothing special about me. It's my two business partners that make it happen. Honestly,
Oh,
I feel minuscule to them, man. Honestly,
Did you like tell him what to say?
no, I feel that way, man. They're a lot more than I am, just because of the fire department. So I feel like they do a whole lot of work. Yeah.
But and you're on the fire department, so this is your other gig.
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
every firefighter has another gig.
Absolutely, but this is the one that I'm not making any money on yet. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's going on? So, we're here today to talk about what you guys are doing because you're moving here.
Right.
Like literally right next door and
Next
under.
door,
you know,
yeah.
So let's talk about this shit because I mean, y'all have a lot of stuff brewing. How long y'all just celebrated your 2-year anniversary?
2-year anniversary.
I missed that. I was trying to make that.
It's cool, man. It was a roller coaster of things.
Yeah.
We got monsooned at one point, so we had to switch all kind of things around, whether it was like musicians or food vendors or all this other stuff. So it got stressful at times, but it was still just such an awesome party. Just we enjoyed the mess out of it, and there's still. I mean, they kept coming at some point. Like, people were walking, like, soaking wet, and I was like, what are y'all doing here?
The hell was coming down, man. They were still coming in. So
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought we were going to lose everybody there with the storm, but it didn't stop anybody.
Y'all have like a almost a cult following, and I love it.
Yeah.
I feel that
think
way.
like craft brew drinkers are interesting, right? Because there's like a certain demographic that's what they do. But I feel like you guys appeal to a broader audience, and that's just me speculating from outside looking in.
No, we do, and I was actually thinking about that last night. How we are a craft brewery, but the diversity of our following, like it expands more than like craft beer. Mm-hmm. It's just such a diverse group of people coming in that tap room, and a lot of people that are regulars that just from different like walks of life that are so. For us, like, we've traveled to so many craft breweries, and you're right, there is a lot of them that it is a precise demographic, and that has not been the case with us. And that's like one of the things that we like always like hang our hat on and like so proud of, that like we do appeal to a lot broader range of people.
Just seeing them all jive together, no issues, and just everyone gets along, drinks beer, and has a good time. It's pretty rewarding, honestly.
Well, I think it's interesting because if you go anywhere and you go to like it's weird with craft breweries, right? Because if you go travel somewhere, there's a lot in touristy areas.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a rotation of people that just visit those places as they come into town, and you're not going to retain them. But you guys seem to have a following that stays loyal to you, and at the same time you're bringing in new people every weekend too. You guys do a great job, and we've talked about this before, Jose, but you guys do a great job of marketing and constantly looking at the entire market and not considering any one competition, and then kind of rolling with the punches and trying new things that other people won't do because they don't want to fuck up their vibes.
That's the thing, is like you kind of have to stay on top of it, like and like we've talked to, like, for people who are listening, like you have a wide demographic of people that listen to that might not know specific what we're talking about in this area.
Yeah.
But where Linwood Avenue, for us that know, you have to stay on top of it to draw people out there.
No shit.
So, I mean, for us, it's like we're not as successful as maybe we want to be just yet, but I look at it sometimes and I'm like, damn, dude, to throw some of these events and to have the amount of people that we've had here on Linwood Avenue sometimes, that's a success in itself,
Yeah,
because it's a rural part of town. I mean, there's not much there other than the hospital, and
that's right.
That's really.
I mean, I've been at events where I'm serving beer at certain stores and stuff like that, and people are like, "Where are you at? Never heard of you." I'm Linwood Avenue. You're on Linwood Avenue?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's an industrial area. We have a good time. Never had an issue. We got live music, food all the time, good beer. It's all local. And most of the time they'll come check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything about craft beer and breweries is seems to be like more of the artistic vibe and unique, but like I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on what you guys are doing, but I like it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's interesting because every time I think you've done something, you do something different. You know what I mean? I'm like,
push the limits, honestly.
Who's coming up with all these ideas?
All of us, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it interchanges.
It's super collective.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But I think like that vibe you're saying that we give off, I think it kind of is, even us as ownership, like we're kind of like that. Like we have things that me and Sam have in common, me and Colby have things in common, and there's things that like, you know, we could care less about, you know, that each other does. Like Colby's a big hunter and fisher. Like I'm not fucking going hunting. You know, like it's
I told him I was going to take all of them turkey hunting one day. It'd be like the Theo Bond turkey hunt.
It's not no fucking joke.
Right.
Yeah.
You're better off deer hunting because turkey hunting, you have to like be fucking still and it's hot.
And Zay's he has to walk actually.
You have to fucking
Yeah.
move around. Yeah, shit. No, that's cool though, man. I think it's awesome. I just I've been interested in, you know, and of course we've known each other since forever ago. So it's just been cool to see what you guys have done. So so what's the plan? You guys, so you're keeping the location you have open, right?
Yes.
And for people who are listening or watching that aren't from this area, so we're in northwest Louisiana. And these guys, basically, there's a slew of local breweries here, just like there is in any metro area. And we're in an area where like 500,000 people in this metro area, and these guys have created something that, you know, is unique to them and unique to their brand. And at this point, they've grown enough to where they're opening a second location.
Right. Yeah. So we're opening a second location here in the East Bank district, which is, you know, for those that know, I mean, it is the area right now.
Yep.
I mean, it is popping. So we're looking forward to it, man. It's exciting times, stressful times, busy times, but it's one of those things where it's like we're a lot better prepared this time. I feel like we've been through some of this, but at the same time, it's like now you're adding more to an already existing load. Mm-hmm. So there is that stress of like, okay.
I mean, I feel like we haven't even figured out how to run the first one.
Yeah.
You know, and we have a second one, so coming, you know. But it's going to all be a learning experience again.
But like you said, it's like everything we do, we roll with the punches and we figure it out, you know. So, but it was just, this is an opportunity you don't turn down.
No. I mean, when we talked about it, we're just now public with it, right? But when we talked about it, you know, months prior, I was just like, dude, this is fucking, congratulations. I'm excited for you guys. It's awesome. Like, because it really is. Like, you're in an area that's full of, you know, young entrepreneurs who actually give a shit about everyone else.
That's right.
Which is very, very rare.
Right.
And it just is what it is. You know, it's like when you have a group of people that can collaborate that are in competition with each other, if you really want to look at the actual metrics, and still realize that the bigger picture is more important.
Right.
You know?
And I think that's what's special about this kind of area down here. Because I've always thought, like, you know, so that location that we're going into, and it speaks to, you know, the people that are already down here. I mean, you've had Bo and Peanut and Doug and all of them on here, but it speaks to the type of people they are because they don't need us by any means. They could put whatever business they want in there, and it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna do well. So for them to come to us and say, hey, we respect y'all as people and we like who y'all are and we think that's a good fit for, you know, what we're trying to build, and there's similar goals in what, you know, we're trying to do that y'all are trying to do, and I think it would be a good spot for y'all to open. And it was like, I mean, yeah, you know, we're on it. We're on it.
Dumb to turn it down.
Yeah, so it's exciting, man. It really is. So, but you know, like you said, there's a lot of figuring out to do.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, dude. I mean, as your entire what's going to happen with your business model? What does it look like?
So basically, I mean, it's kind of, you know, we're figuring it out as we go type thing. I won't say that. There's some plans. So the business model down here will be very similar to what we're doing over there. I think first and foremost is like we want to keep the craft aspect of it, but like you said, I think our brand has always lent itself very well to different scenes, different you know, crowds, all that stuff. So I think we've done a good job with that. So I think on that aspect, like, we shouldn't have trouble fitting in as far as what they're doing down here. And we do have some ideas on maybe some different things that we want. You know, obviously lighter beer offering, more lager specific.
Beer slushies.
Beer slushies.
Been seeing that, dude. Y'all are killing it with that shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
it sells, man. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Like the first day we released it, I think we sold like 180 in a day.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, so this is
Yeah.
going to stay,
We've been exploring like seltzers too. I mean, that's
nice.
that's huge
Yeah.
right now.
Nice.
Like
Yeah, it's
like
huge.
the Trulies,
Yeah, dude.
the Topo Chico seltzers,
It's
all
not
that
going
stuff.
away.
No, it's not.
It's,
No.
it's replacing
No.
what are the old
Not
ones
going
called?
away.
What they used to call it Zimas. It's replacing Zima.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I mean, we-
lemonade and shit. Like
We don't, I wouldn't say I personally like them, but
Yeah.
they sell and you can do really cool things with them. Like add anything you can imagine to it. And
to the slushy thing.
to the seltzer.
Oh, the seltzer,
To the seltzer,
We
yeah.
did one we did some at the anniversary, and we had
No
like
shit. What'd y'all have?
we had like a strawberry lemonade seltzer, and it
Okay.
was like flying.
Peach lemonade.
Peach lemonade.
We had the sports drink.
Yeah, we did like a blue sports drink.
Nice.
Hydrate.
Like a flavor?
Yeah.
So
And-
you're getting hydrated and
Yeah. I mean,
hydrated at the
All
same
at the same time.
when I tell you people were tearing these things up, I was like, man, like the only issue is like ours are a little more high octane. So they were,
7%.
yeah,
man.
they were
That's
drinking
better than
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah, they were drinking them things like 4% Trulies, and it was like, nah, y'all are.
They just go down the same.
Yeah,
though.
they do.
They're super light. So like at 7%, you don't realize it, and you're just getting.
But those
trash.
kinds of things, even though sometimes it might not be like our favorite thing to drink, or like we're not necessarily drinking them. I mean, it's what the people want at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
if that revenue that you make from that kind of stuff allows you to do the stuff that you want to do personally, like brew the more craft centric styles of beers that we want to do, then why not? So that's kind of our motto on all that, and we're not bougie or pretentious about anything, like as far as like craft beer. We're like, no, you need to be drinking the hop.
You see that a lot. You
Yeah,
see it a
you
lot.
do.
You see it a lot.
It's-
man.
it's out
And I
there.
know you
Yeah.
guys know because you're in it, but like just on the outside looking, anytime I go anywhere, look at that, I'm just like, I don't like. And you go somewhere, especially if you're like visiting an area,
right.
What I like about there's other breweries around here that do the same thing. So nothing against those guys. But what I'm saying, what I like about what you guys are doing is when someone lands there, no matter who they are, they can find something to enjoy.
Right.
Correct.
Like I don't like beer.
Yeah.
I'm about to drink some of this right now. Actually, I'm about to open this Don Pablo. I don't like beer, man.
Yeah.
But I'm going to drink some for you guys
Thank
because I
you.
love you.
Appreciate
But
that. You're gonna
I will have some beer. We were recently in Destin on this dolphin tour, and all they had was a keg of Budweiser. So I drank some. It was either that or wine, and I really don't fuck with wine.
Yeah,
so.
I saw that. I commented
I
on
know
it.
you commented.
I was like, no, my boy drinking a beer. Yeah.
So I was
yeah.
like, when I talked to you, I was like, dude, y'all got to bring some beer, and I might have
Yeah.
to drink some because
No, and that's kind of I think always been our thing too. Is that like we're super like we love craft beer. Like don't get me wrong, but like when people come into our tap room, I want them to tell me like I don't want to try to change what they drink.
right.
As far as like if you go home and you drink Michelob Ultra, if you drink Dos Equis, if you drink Budweiser, whatever it may be, like I want to know that. And I think sometimes people get intimidated coming into a craft brewery and telling you that they drink like I drink Miller Lite. That's all I drink. Well, my thing is I want to know that so that I can better serve you and give you something that I feel is closest to that, but in a craft experience, in a craft scenario, and then maybe you have a different outlook on what craft beer
And it
is.
has to be better too, right?
Yeah.
And because the batches are smaller, so I would think the
Right.
craftsmanship goes into it.
Lot of
and
love.
Yeah.
And the product's got to be more pure. I'm not familiar
Right.
with how everything works, but like,
Yeah.
man, do you mind moving that cable? I'm sorry, I
Well,
should
we-
have fixed that before we started.
We use, very, good ingredients, honestly. Like, better than, I'm not saying it's better than what's used in
Right.
in the larger breweries and stuff,
But
like
once you go-
Anheuser-Busch and
once
stuff.
you go
But
large scale, you're going to lose some.
yeah.
some
It's
quality.
all
You're
about
not
money
getting
at that point where you're trying to save money on what you buy.
Yeah.
And, we spend money on good grain, and I think it all,
And you
it's a
guys-
part of it.
Y'all not making any money yet.
No.
So
Nah.
let's talk about that shit because people
Nah.
need to know this, right?
No, I haven't cut a check yet.
I've lost money. The business has never lost money, but
Right.
obviously you're working less because you're taking care of something else. So
Yeah.
in the long run, you are taking a income hit
Yeah.
per se to take care of stuff that you need to handle, with the brewery. But yeah, we haven't cut a penny. Like when we tell people that it's a labor of love, it's a labor of love.
Yeah. No checks yet, man. Just working our full-time job still,
Yeah.
plus the
But I
brewery.
think that's great. I think that's another thing that's extremely important. And I was thinking about, first off, 100% transparency. I never think about these shows before I do them. I just sit down and do them. But something made me think about this a day or two ago, and I was like, you guys, there's something to the reason why you're so successful so far this quick, and I think it's a lot of that. You're not having to take any money out of the business to put in your pockets because you have full-time careers, and this is your side hustle that's a passion project that's turned into a great business. Right. So you're able to put the money back into the business, which is a lot of times very hard for people to do.
It is.
Because they'll just jump in and go through the whole thing, let everything go and say, I'm going to put everything into this, but at the same time they have to, pay their bills.
Yeah.
Right. And so it hasn't, you've been able to put that back into it, which is a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
It is. And that's not to say that, like, we don't think about it. Like,
of course.
Yeah.
At some point you're going to, of course.
That isn't the goal,
Yeah.
Especially with the second location. I mean, at some point something's going to have to give.
Yeah, you got to make money.
There's just no way.
It's business.
Right?
But what you're doing and what you have done is because I think that's got to be part of it.
Right. I mean, there's still things we're doing. And that's another thing, too, that, like, people are assuming that with this second location, like Shreveport's like, oh, they're not. No, we got some plans over there, too. There's stuff in the works over there, too, for that location.
Yeah, some big stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Can't talk about it yet.
I mean,
it's just, more construction, more, make it that venue that we want to make it. You know?
The place to come in Shreveport, pretty much,
Well, because you have two different demographics. If anyone's listening or watching is not, familiar with this area, you have two cities that cohesively live together, but they're in a rivalry at all times, meaning that you have citizens that won't go on one side of the river and citizens that will, and then vice versa. So it's like you're going to bring your brand to a market that hasn't really seen it yet.
Right.
Of course, you guys have offer your stuff at places, but it's not the same as offering yourselves.
Right.
To that. So once you bring that to this demographic here, it's going to open up the doors for a whole nother, a whole nother huge market of people.
Correct.
Yeah, we're not touching this clientele over here at all. Yeah. That's how I feel.
No, I mean, you're not.
I'm just saying, we're not taking anything away from the Shreveport side.
No.
So, people are like, well, you don't think you're going to be taking people from Shreveport to Bossier? I'm like, no, because I know the people that come to our Shreveport location, they're not leaving. The people that are going to Bojack's and stuff, they're not leaving there to come to Shreveport to the brewery.
No, it's just two different demographics. It's 100%. Nothing against them. It's not even competition. It's just this group of people does their thing over here. This group of people does their thing over here.
And I get why they like to stay down here. I mean, you got everything in one place. You know what I mean?
It's safe. I mean,
and you guys have a lot of people that just Uber, 5 blocks from Broadmoor, wherever, right to your spot.
Right. Exactly.
So it just works that way.
We get a ton of hospital traffic over there too, which is good. But this is a completely different demographic, and it's like to be able to expose our brand to like a whole nother group of people. And it's like when we first did that kind of like teaser post, like we did get a bunch of comments like, man, I'm finally going to get to try them. And it's like,
we've been here this whole time, bro. 2 years.
Why
haven't you tried it yet?
Yeah.
But you weren't knocking at the front door.
Right.
What it is.
Yeah. So.
Well, tell me give me some answers to some questions you guys get all the time, or that you've gotten recently regarding any of this.
About this?
Or about the upcoming stuff, or you guys in general that people may not know. Stuff you want to tell people that you haven't been able to.
Right. Like, I think the big one is the Shreveport location closing.
Right. Yeah.
We got that a lot. And it was no, it's not. And I think I kind of did that on purpose because, Colby's dad was like, "You got to tell people we're not closing." And I'm like, "No, they're talking, and that's what we want, And but the Shreveport location is alive and well and thriving.
That's our baby, man.
It's there's something about it. Even though this location too here, I mean, it's all our baby. It's our love, But that one, that was like years of hard work that we put into that. So there's no. And then I think another one was well, are they not doing too good over there?
Well, people always think that.
Yeah.
They always.
I mean, honestly, if I was looking from the outside of it, I would think they're doing well. If you're going to have a second location, I wouldn't think that you're doing bad if you're putting money into a second location.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that means good things, honestly. So, but people look at shit different, right? So
Well, you just have a lot of people that are always going to be like, well, and then you have the biased people that are like, I can't believe they're going to focus attention here and not here.
Right. Yeah, we did get some of that too. And
I mean, we're all three there almost every single day. I mean, all that's going to happen is we're probably going to get split up and take turns on being here, being there.
Yeah.
You know, you'll still see our face. You know, I mean, that's another thing I think that's big is like customers walk in, they're going to see one of us there every day.
Well, I have a question. So you guys are very big on collaborative efforts, like very, very big. Are you going to bring that down here too?
I would love to. I think we have a lot of great ideas, and I'm running through shit all the time in my mind, whether it's like collaboration with other breweries, with local chefs, with local food trucks. Like, I love that collaborative aspect of things because I think other people sometimes bring things to the table that you can't offer, and and in turn it benefits them and you, and it gives like the community something to do. And here, I mean, everything's kind of just built in, but I don't know, I got some ideas. Maybe I'll talk to Bo about some events in the future and stuff like that, where because they do have the platform down here to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy you've been able to do that over there with an entirely different market, but if you bring the same efforts here in tandem with what they're doing here as well, I think it's going to prove to be amazing. I just really do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great, and then I mean that's another great thing about coming down here is the resources, the knowledge and experience that these guys like possess. Like over there, it's just us. Like we're on an island, and over here to just be able to walk next door and talk to these guys and be like, hey, I'm having this issue, or I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I mean, the other people that come with it too. I mean, like you've done some kick-ass events down here. Just to have that as a resource, and then also like, I mean, the things have already started. I mean, like you had Dustin on here like he's doing our build out,
right?
And that's someone we met through them that we hadn't met him before. And I mean,
great dude, by the way.
Yeah, dude,
awesome dude.
We've only known him like 2 or 3 months, but he's been fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and they're finally. Last time we talked about it, the architect was all that's ready, and they're demoing right now and doing work. What are we looking like trajectory wise?
I'll tell you what Dustin thinks. Dustin and my dad are thinking like late August, but I'm gonna give some cushion and say late September, October.
Yeah. Okay,
honestly.
Because you have no reason to rush this.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean? Which they've been under the fire a lot of times in projects down here because of, extended like unexpected circumstances or whatever. Like to where stuff had to get up and quick. Whereas you guys already have a location, so this being a second, you don't really have to push the envelope.
Right. I mean, there's a little rush because we're paying rent,
Right.
So that's the only thing that's in our back of our minds. Like, if we can start making money here, it'll be easier on us to pay the rent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, man, I wouldn't say that there's a rush.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we want to have it open before wintertime hits, which I think, everywhere else is probably
September, October at the latest is our goal. Like, we're not sitting here like, oh, we're going to sit on our ass, but it's like, we're not thinking like,
open in the middle of November.
Need to open the day the equipment arrives. We need to open.
Yeah. So what are you going to do there? Or you said a similar concept. So like, what if someone's pushed this out to someone someone's visited your place all the time, and they know your place. When they come to this location, what should they expect?
So I think especially for people down here, it's a little different because people that have visited in this area, there's 2 other breweries, right?
Right.
They're breweries. To us, they make beer, but under Louisiana law, they're brew pubs,
right? Because
they are also restaurants. They have a full service bar.
They're not distributing.
They're just
brewing to serve right there on.
We're still a brewery,
right?
So that's another one things people kept asking: are y'all going to have alcohol there? We will not. We're still only serving our product,
right?
But to try to make that better, that's where we're kind of branching out into frozen beer. The seltzers, that kind of stuff. So we're going to have a lot more options. I think we should be able to cover the bases on a lot of stuff, that people want to drink. And we are going to have food. Like, that's going to be...
Because that law's changed recently.
It changed during COVID is what it was, and they never changed it back.
And there's still numbers that you have to abide by. Like, we can't be like, we're going to open the biggest, most in-depth kitchen. Like, we're still not allowed to do that, but, we are going to have a good, solid menu of food options.
You know what you're going to have yet? Y'all figured that out? You're still working on that?
Yeah, we're going to keep that on DL.
Okay.
I can tell you this. It's going to be, hopefully, quick and easy. Something you can walk up and get.
Okay.
Good, quality's there. But food that people who have been drinking all day are going to want to eat.
Gotcha.
It's more like, not necessarily junk food, but kind of like
craft bar food.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good way to put
have
it.
that
Yeah.
word. Have that phrasing.
Exactly. That's the perfect term for that.
Yeah.
So we'll have that, and then we'll have all the tanks in there too. And the cool thing is that like as opposed to like the Shreveport location where the tanks are hidden behind the bar, so you don't ever see them unless you walk back there. Here you'll be able to see them. I mean, you'll be sitting there drinking a beer, and you'll be seeing the whole operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which will be, I think it's kind of cool for people to actually experience it, and then they'll be able to realize, oh man, we're in a brewery, because they see the tanks and stuff.
Yeah,
there.
you'll be able to see it from the front and the back of the building, honestly. So, like, from the front, you'll be able to see the tanks. Walk in the back, you'll see tanks. So,
you're going to have like a patio set up too, like the rest of the place down here?
Yeah, that's why we demoed the whole back end. You see that's open now. It used to have a cover over it. That's going to be all rebuilt to indoor-outdoor patio. So, outdoor bar and all that stuff.
Yeah. I just think it's great. I think you're going to open you up to, a world of possibilities, man. I've seen what you've been able to do, like not having any network. When I say that, I mean, you know what I mean? Like not having any neighbors.
Yeah.
So you're having to bring collaborations in, but now having this network and then still having your collaborative mindset, I just think y'all would be able to do a lot with that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And spin it. You know what I mean? Spin it a little bit because it's a little different. You know what I mean? It's a little different, but at the same time, the energy's there.
Yeah. I know, and that's the thing I think about all the time too. Is like, obviously, if you judge it by a Friday or Saturday night here, this place isn't lacking anything. I mean, the crowd is popping.
Yeah.
It is a thing, but I think we will be able to bring kind of like something different per se. Another option for people.
I agree. I think so. There's a demographic that stands right, and it just is what it is. And as you move down the block, it changes a little bit.
Right.
I think you guys can be right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
you're just a good transition point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of where our aim is right now is to, because I think. We're a brand in itself too. I think the 7 Tap, we've done a good job of making our name for ourselves. So I think just having that addition there, I think it's just going to be good for everybody. And that's kind of the beauty of the people down here too. Like if you talk to everybody, like they see that. And I was like kind of in shock when we first talked and we had our initial conversations because it's the more the merrier, or the better you do, the better I do. And a lot of people don't think
competition.
That way.
Nobody thinks that way, dude.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation. You and I have had this conversation, and then I've had this conversation with all these guys on this block, and we all agree with that, but it just seems to be that some people just don't want to get on board with that idea. And it just is what it is, and that's globally. It's not like it's just a here mindset thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if you're local, you should be working together, honestly. it's better for everybody, in my opinion. Especially in a block like this, where everybody's here together.
And it's weird, too, because it's like, I'd understand it if, like, so they're the most successful on the block, and for them to be like, we can keep adding on to this and make it kick ass even more, And it's like, so it's not like two other businesses that are like, let's team up and give them a run. It's like, no, we're on top, and let's keep bringing people on to what we're trying to do. And I'm like, you got to respect that. Like, I do. I have so much respect for those dudes and what
they're just so humble, man.
Yeah.
They really are, and they just want to help people, man. That's what's awesome. They see us, and they know they can help our business grow even more by us being down here, and them asking us was just a big thing to us, honestly.
No, that's amazing. I think it's exciting. I was excited to hear about it whenever Jose told me. I was just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome, man. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of work, though. We already don't get enough sleep. Zay's on call all the time. I'm doing 24-hour shifts.
Pushing for this dude to go full-time beer, so we'll see what happens.
I'm pushing for it too, man. Honestly,
Something's gonna have to give. It's I don't know. And we're all kind of in that boat. Like Sam works his ass off too, man. Like
he's there every day, dude.
He's nonstop, and he deals with a lot of the shit too. That like I gotta give him props because he deals with a lot of shit that like I might deal with some bullshit sometimes, but it's just like with the marketing side, or it's like some of that shit. It's kind of fun, like planning events. If you're not dealing with like bullshit vendors or stuff like that, it's kind of fun, like putting shit together. But he deals with a lot of stuff that sometimes is like, man, like distributors and legal and tax stuff, like that kind of stuff. That's like, I could see it. Like it might not be physically wearing them down, but it's mentally draining. And on top of that, he has a day job also, and then same with us. My job is what it is. it's unforgiving sometimes, when you spend a whole night on a call and then you have to show up to work the next day and you're going on. I remember there was 1 week I had slept like 10 hours. And I was just like, I'm fucking done. My boy's the same way. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, you're
he does those 24 hours.
Days, or 24-hour shifts.
Doing 24s, yeah, man. Yeah. It's rough, man. I would say it's rough on family life, everything, just because I'm used to, before the brewery, I was used to going 24-hour shifts, and I was welding at that time for my side job, making good money.
Right.
And but I was coming home every night.
Yeah.
I'm not coming home at the right time every night now. I come home to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that affects not just my relationship with my wife, but also my family. But they also know that all this sacrifice will probably be worth something one day.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But at the same time, I hate it, right? Because I love to be with my wife, man. But there's just times where you're not there, man, and it sucks. You miss out on a lot of shit. So,
I mean, even just like social gatherings with friends and stuff. I mean, it's like, oh, where you been? It's like, where the fuck I've been.
You know where I've been, bro.
Yeah.
You can come anytime.
It's rough, man. But
and you get a lot of people don't understand it either.
They really don't. A lot of people work a 9 to 5 and they go home and they turn it off.
Yeah.
But when you and it's hard for people to grasp this concept because they just don't understand. They live for the weekend.
Yeah.
And when the weekend comes, they let loose.
Yep.
And they go back into robotic mode from Monday through Friday. Where you have people like you guys or me, any of us, like, it's like we do shit all day long. And in the evening we got shit to do, and on the weekend we got shit to do because the weekend's busy for this other business. It's, so I get it, But for me, I'm just the same way. I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's a goal I'm trying to get to, and once I get there, I'll know it's all worth it. You just got to make sure that you make time, along that journey to realize that.
But I think it motivates you too, though, because it's like you see your family and the sacrifices that they make for you. And they didn't ask for it, but they're there to support you. Mm-hmm. So it also motivates you to I got to make sure that this shit's worth it.
Yeah, because if you put all this into flop, then you're like,
yeah. I mean, and that's my biggest thing is I don't want to live with regret, because I've missed out on things with my kid. He's 2 years old, and there's times where maybe I'm not there every night, and it's I have to have when he gets older, I have to have something to show him. Mm-hmm. This is why the fuck I did it. And it doesn't make up for it, don't get me wrong.
No, but it does.
But it does, I did this so that you could have this.
Yeah, time is something you never get back. And that's what I always think on, man. I always think about that. I don't have a kid, but I'm still missing out on stuff with family and my wife. And sometimes you're like, man, is this really worth it? But you just gotta. I just start thinking about all the people that I've seen successful in my life, and I know that they went through the same shit I'm going through right now. Yeah. And look at them now. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It's gonna be worth this shit one day, and then it'll all come back tenfold to us. I feel like
that's what that's the goal. That's the vision, at least.
Yeah. Well, y'all have you have a good bit of employees too.
We do.
Yeah.
How many employees do you guys have there?
Shoot, 10.
10 employees there.
10 solid employees.
How many are you gonna? That's very fucking. Look, that's a very important word too.
Hey, trust me, it's been rough.
Look, I understand.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of turnover firsthand, and I've hired and fired a lot of people over the past 6 years.
Yeah.
I have a good core team now, but it takes a while to get there. But the fact that you're employing people and you're opening up another location to employ even more people, which is awesome. So how many people do you think you're going to have down here?
Oh, probably more, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean,
just kind of probably going to have to be.
Your hours we're different. What's that going to look like? You can be open at lunch.
I think we're going to open earlier, more days open.
Probably Monday through Sunday.
Yeah,
dude, why not? Fuck it. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's, I don't know, dude. There's even been talks about other stuff down here. I mean. I'll get more into that in the future, but I mean, this thing could be it could be a.
I mean, you got to start thinking. I mean, we're gonna have to have someone run a kitchen. We could do it. We're running ours right now at the Shreveport location.
Yeah.
But we need someone that can be here all the time, run that kitchen, not us.
Right.
Because we're either at work or at the Shreveport location. We can't be running the kitchen and managing bar staff at the same time.
Right.
So it's gonna be a headache.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And I think we've learned to as far as staff goes, we've learned where we went wrong in the past, and we're still learning. And so, I think, again, like I said earlier, I think we have a better idea of certain things. And also, I mean, you got these guys to turn to and be like, hey, what works down here and what doesn't?
They fucking know.
Yeah.
Trust me, they know. God, man. Every time I talk to them, I just dude, you take something from it. You're like, I mean, there's a level of respect there that, we all respect each other. We all work together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like the things that these guys have been through, and you guys too. Y'all open like right at COVID mark, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like post COVID, like immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what helped out.
Let's talk about that shit because I think you and I talked about it a long time ago, but the audience has vastly grown since then. So let's talk about it.
It was scary as shit, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
When did y'all open the doors?
June 5th or 4th.
June 4th of 2021, was
2021.
Yeah.
So post COVID, still everyone's masked up. Still social distancing shit.
Yeah. So what happened is we secured our loan, right? And then that's when like the first wave of COVID hit. But remember, the first wave was out. I think it was a little smaller than like people didn't know like, oh, COVID's going around. So they kind of started doing some things where it was like, I think they started like the social distancing and the mask thing, but it wasn't like complete shutdown.
Right.
So we had just secured our loan, so we decided like, hey, let's hold back on it. We haven't done nothing. Cool. And then it looked like it was getting a little better. And, we couldn't just sit on that money forever. Mm-hmm. So we said, fuck it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And literally, like, a week or two after we said, fuck it, the whole world shut down.
Literal shutdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we couldn't stop.
No.
I mean, once you start drawing from that money, from that loan, it's like...
You got to do something with it. You're paying it back.
It's go time, buddy, because you owe it.
Yeah.
So it was like, fortunately for us, I guess, like, from the construction side, like, that kind of stuff didn't really halt too much. But... it was one of those things like we would sit there and look at it. It was like, what are we going to open to? What if we can't have anybody in this motherfucker?
It was scary. It was really scary.
So luckily we got lucky, and when we opened, the mask thing had just been lifted. Mm-hmm. I think we were at 50% capacity. Was what
it was limited. I remember.
Yeah, it was at 50% capacity, and stuff was good. And then I think we had another mask mandate a little bit after that, but it wasn't too crazy. So I mean, I think we got lucky that we weren't open during the shutdowns. But don't get me wrong, that was some fucking, like, stressful times. Like, construction was like, there was no halt on the construction,
Yeah.
Those guys were full steam ahead, and we were like, yeah, but everything's shut down. Like, what are we going to open to? Who are we going to open to?
I can tell you this, our grand opening, I think, because everything got lifted at one point, during our grand opening, like that month or the month before they lifted everything pretty much where you wear a mask if you need to wear a mask if they require it. But like I think people wanted to get out. Like they had been locked down and they wanted to get out, and that was our biggest showing we've ever had was on our grand opening. I don't think we've made that much money in one day since then. And it was insane. It was like shoulder to shoulder at that place, dude. Yeah, it was nuts. It really
y'all
was.
Just had your second anniversary this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So how did it go, man?
It was really good, man. Dude, I mean, there's some moments there, dude, when it fucking started pouring down. We had to pull the band off the stage. And I mean, it was a tent, but that rain was coming sideways, dude.
Yeah.
So it was like they were getting something. I felt bad for the fucking sound guy, dude.
He had $8,000 worth of equipment, and it all got soaked, man.
Yeah.
And like he kept a great attitude, but he's like, man, I can't like hook this stuff back up. I gotta go take it to a shop, get it, dried out and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, band's got to be canceled.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck, we got to cancel bands. But like at the same time, we're trying to keep rain off us still getting on the stage, because the band that was on the stage, they got the fuck out of there because how hell was coming down, the wind was blowing, so all their shit's getting wet. So there's like a bunch of us out there like trying to keep the rain off of it and holding the tent down with all we had because the tent was trying to fly off into Linwood Avenue. I mean, it was nuts. But people, it was actually, it was a real rodeo. I felt like.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess the one positive is like, everybody flocked inside, and people that were there, they couldn't fucking go nowhere.
Yes,
so they were just drinking.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah. So I mean, it was successful.
Great turnout, honestly.
Yeah, it was
even
great.
With the weather.
I can't complain at all. I mean, numbers were good, crowd was good, everything was good. We didn't have any major issues. So.
Well, I like what you guys have been doing too with the comedy stuff, like bringing the comedy back. Like that's awesome, man. I love that shit. Like it's not. There's only like a select few spots in this area that you can go listen to it, but like or watch, But like the fact that you guys are opening doors to that, because people are scared of that, right? People are scared of that because every time you have a comic walk in the door and get on the mic, anything could happen.
Yeah.
And they say
everything is.
I mean, but if you have such a good people coming to that need to know, they just need to know that's what you're to expect. But we have a vast majority of people who've never experienced stand-up comedy, and probably never will because it's never been, the opportunity's never been given to them.
Right.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that also speaks to like the demographic that we have, and people knowing who we are as people and who we are as business. And so on those things we advertise, the views of the comedian do not represent the establishment or ownership, because they say some shit sometimes where it's like, oh shit.
That's why people are scared to even have that type of, but like you have to be, you don't have to be, because a lot of people aren't, but what you guys are doing, you have to be inclusive to everything, and you are.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you have to, and it's one of those things like if you feel like something's there, like you probably just don't need to be there that evening. It's not saying like don't come back and have a beer with us tomorrow, but you know, like I completely understand if you're not okay with that type of language.
Right.
You're right, and I agree. You know, that just so happens to be what we're doing that evening,
and that happens to be the demographic you're appealing to that day.
Right.
And the next day may be, who fucking knows? You know, like you never know. Like,
comedy is an open playing field, though. You know, I feel like, you know, if you're going to a comedy show, be ready to hear something you might not like. You know what I mean? You might not agree with.
Aren't.
I know,
they don't, because they've never experienced it.
I know.
That's why I love that you guys are doing it, because people are so scared to hear what they don't want to.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
They're like, they oh my god, I don't want to hear the truth.
I get scared of those motherfuckers too.
Light your ass up.
You're talking to people in the crowd. I'm like, oh.
I love that.
If you want to come back, don't come this way.
I love the crowd work, man.
Yeah.
But I love comedy in general, man. I've been to a lot of shows here lately, and I went to New York last year and went to a show at the Comedy Cellar, man. Like, everything's off limits. They don't give a fuck. You know, like Ari Shaffir was there. All these people were there, man, that like, it was just nuts what they were saying, but at the same time, it's just like we're all there to laugh. You know, it's not that they personally feel that way. They're trying to make you laugh, make you feel uncomfortable, right? That's like the whole gist of it. And if we can do that at the brewery, man, I'm in for it all the way. I just, you know, you just need to have your clientele to feel comfortable with it as well, but know what they're coming into.
Yeah,
you know. So
I love it, dude. I was so excited the first time y'all had that show. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, but you know, again, I think that, like you said, I think that speaks to like the culture that we're trying to create. And again, us being on Linwood Avenue, you have to do different things. And we like to keep it creative. We like to keep it different, you know, whether it's comedy shows, different musicians. I mean, I think we've exposed, like there's musicians that we'll bring on sometimes, and people will be like, who are they? I've never heard of them. They're so talented. And I'm like, probably because you've never been to the fucking East Bank district. Seth Bradford's down there all the time. You know, like they got like all these good local musicians, but they're, you know, they're of a different genre. They might be a country guy, you know, stuff like that. So I think to us, like the big thing, I mean, even like with stuff like that is like, I just want like quality. Like if it's like any musician that we book, the comedians, when we do those types of nights, when we have food, when we have everything, it's like I want people to have a good experience. Because in turn, I mean, that helps my business, you know. So, I mean, that's the big thing with us is, you know, keep it different, but offer people something unique, you know.
Well, it makes us feel good at the end of the day, knowing that they had a good time. You know what I mean? Like, anyone can come to us, to our establishment, and have a hell of a time, love it, and come back. It doesn't matter who they are, where they came from, what they believe in. You can come there, and everybody gets along, jives, and drinks good beer, you know, hangs out.
I like too is that you guys are constantly releasing new stuff all the time. Where do you get this? Like, where do you come up with these artwork on these cans and stuff that you guys constantly have great marketing? We've talked about that before. But like can artwork, flavors. Where y'all come up with this stuff?
So it's all of us, honestly. I think bullshit sometimes. Some shit's inside jokes. Sometimes.
Yeah, we got a list of inside jokes that like stem back to like the day that we met. I feel like that we were brewing together. I have a list on my phone and in my notes.
Yeah, and it's just different stuff, man. I mean, Samuel does like all the recipe development, so he's like the guy behind pretty much every beer. And me and Colby will have input on like the style of beer sometimes. Hops, like fruit, stuff like that. But when it comes to like putting all that shit together, like Samuel's just a
mastermind.
He's a fucking
the genius.
I gotta try the Linwood Light.
Yeah, dude,
that's the good stuff.
This is look. I'm not a beer drinker. I've already said that, but I'm gonna keep saying that because I just feel like I need to drink.
Yes,
because I want to experience all of it.
Yeah,
but I would drink a Dos Equis from here time to time.
Yeah.
And that Don Pablo tastes similar.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Now we're about to go light.
Yeah, so this is an American Pilsner right here.
Some heartburn, man. But it's nothing against you guys. It's just my body.
It's the way your body works.
My body don't like beer, but I'm gonna
nothing wrong with that.
Let's try this one. See how it feels.
You need another one?
Yeah, I'll do a Linwood. So yeah, we're planning on doing like an East Bank beer too when we get down here. So that'll be pretty cool to have something around that's, you know, like the official beer of the East Bank. So obviously it's gonna be something super light.
Put it in here and keep it in here.
Yeah.
I like that. It is light, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
That's better than
it's
Miller Lite.
crushable,
You said it's like
dude.
Miller Lite. That shit's better than Miller Lite.
Yeah, this is what we tell people who don't really aren't familiar with
Yeah.
super craft. Like if someone's a Miller Lite drinker or just Bud Light, whatever they're drinking, we can like associate. Hey, yeah, Lemon Light will taste like a Miller Lite, or not exactly taste like it, but it's similar to that style.
Yeah.
So it's an easy drink,
No, I like
easy
it, man.
drinker.
I feel like I'm doing
Crushable.
like a virgin tequila talk,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
It's
And I mean, that's
it's good.
That's the thing
though.
with us is like we're trying to break that connotation that craft beer is like this. Well, it is in a lot of places. I will say this, the kind of bougie, kind of like.
Well, it's
snobby.
just
And-
it falls in the art districts in most places if you
Yes.
think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
and with that comes a very eccentric, crowd and culture.
Yeah, and I mean we're trying to kind of break through that barrier that has been set there, where it's like that's not us, and people that know us, they know that, and that's not to say, like I've said before, like me and Colby, Sam, like we love drinking like IPAs, like that's our shit. And we want the newest, craziest,
Let's talk about all that
most
because
snobby hops you can get. But we're not gonna be like, no, DJ, you're wrong. 'Cause you're not fucking drinking this
don't fucking
dry
ask me.
hop.
Yeah.
well, I can't like the more like I can just tell the difference from this to this. Like the more hops, the more I'm like acid reflux, can't fucking do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but the lighter it is, I can throw it back. But like,
Yeah.
let's talk about this because Jose, you and I talked about this forever ago. But let's run through this for people who don't understand craft beer.
Right.
So let's go from lightest to heaviest. Who wants to
What
lead
you
this
want to know?
conversation?
What do you want to know?
I mean, just what,
So-
what? Okay, if someone, okay, say I'm someone. You talk to me. I'm someone that walks into your establishment. I've never had craft beer in my entire life, and I say, okay, I'm a Michelob Ultra drinker.
Okay.
but I want to start dabbling in
Okay.
thicker beer and
Yeah.
dark stuff. I want to look at everything like. What does that transition look like? What does this have versus what does the other one have? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so like these lighter beers, like what you're drinking right now, it's the IBUs in it. So the IBUs is from the hops, and it's a scale that tells you how the bitterness of the hops that give that beer, right? So these are super low IBUs, not very heavily hopped. They're brewed with lighter malts and grains. It takes a lot of time to ferment these beers because you got to baby them. Because basically, like, you can't hide off flavors in these light beers. So like they got to taste super clean
How long
and
are we
whatnot.
talking like time wise?
Man, the lagers, honestly, they could go for 30 days plus if we could allow that. But with distro, I mean, obviously we have to, I wouldn't say rush them, but get them to where we like it and where it tastes good to us. But I mean, honestly, we could lager them for freaking 60 days if we wanted
that's
to.
the thing when people are like, why don't you? I bet it's brewing something like a Miller Lite's probably easy for y'all. And it's like
That's the
it's
hardest.
actually the hardest beer to brew because you can't any mistake you can't hide it because it's
Yeah.
such a light beer. So if you mess up, you're gonna know right off the bat. Whereas like IPAs, you can hop them, that kind of stuff, or any of our sours, you fruit them. So
Not saying we have all flavors, but you can
that's
you
what
can
I'm
hide things when you add certain stuff. Like,
How does it work implementing the fruit flavors? Like, I look at that, I'm just like, how in the fuck how does that work? How does that work? Like, how do you get that flavor in there?
So we brew the beer, right? So you come from the mash tun to the bull kettle. You transfer it from the bull kettle to the fermenter. You add your yeast, and you let it sit and ferment out. And then you add your fruit. So like how we're adding fruit is by puree. So we're either buying from Fierce Fruit, Oregon Fruit. So it's legit fruit. You know what I mean? It's all been pureed.
And shit.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah. So it's all just been pureed, and we'll dump it into the tank. Transfer it into the tank, and then it'll start to re-ferment because you still have sugars that are going to from the fruit that's going to be get eaten by the yeast. So it's going to re-ferment, and it sits there, man. And we'll dump fruit out because it all collects at the bottom because you can't transfer that over to the bright tank. So you go from a fermenter to a bright tank, which when you go to the bright tank, you're basically cold crashing, which you drop everything in suspension to the bottom, you release it, and then you're good for, you kind of carbonate as well in the bright tank, then you're good for canning or kegging. But the fruit deal, man, is just basically buying a shit ton of pureed fruit and dropping it in the top of the
we get
tank.
like truckloads of fruit, and people are like, you can use extracts and stuff, and it's like, yeah, dude, but for us, I think it's still kind of like that craft aspect, and we like to be able to say, yeah, we use real fruit, and then that's why when like you get a beer like Waves or something, It's like blueberry waves. It looks blue.
Everyone fucking loves that beer.
The blueberry
These
one
people,
is nuts.
that I'm running into. That like my fucking neighbors. I sent you a picture when we had that crawfish boil. Dude, they that's all they talk about. Like, but just random people that don't drink beer, are talking about that beer.
The blueberry,
just I don't know what
or the waves in general. Waves is just a rotating
Waves is a wild
sour.
How
did that come about?
It's a sour ale, so we knew we needed a sour ale. Because
at first, is that what everybody does?
Well, the sour, just like people who like wine or sweet things or sour things or fruited things, man, they'll come in the brewery and be like, I don't drink beer, but I drink wine. And we'll usually gravitate towards the sour beers that are fruited because they can be a little sweet with a little acidity that makes it a little sour, but the color and the fruit and the sweetness of it, people that drink wine love it, honestly.
Yeah, and we knew we needed something to kind of appeal to like the female clientele also because at that time, we weren't thinking slushies, we weren't thinking seltzers, we weren't thinking none of that. We were thinking like just beer. So like, we need something. So the Wave series came about, and when I tell you that it surprised the shit out of us, and I can't tell you the last time I drank a Waves. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And it's not that I have anything against that beer, but I just don't go drink it.
Yeah.
But sales-wise, dude, it kicks some ass.
It's nuts.
There's been many a months where it's the top seller in the tap room, and it's the top seller in the market.
And the thing is, it's not as sour as most sours usually are, like typically. Right. So it's like an introduction to sour almost, because we've done some more sour beer where the pH is lower, right? But like being in Shreveport, we knew we couldn't come out with like a flagship sour that's going to like just eat the enamel off your teeth, So, but like honestly, I mean, it's kind of surprising how people have flocked to that beer because when we were drinking craft beer and stuff, we loved the sourest thing you could get with the most fruit in it. And in my opinion, Waves isn't incredibly sour, but it's a great introduction beer to sours. It's
not overly like intrusive or abrasive to people's palate, so I think it's done well, man. And I mean, it surprises the shit out of me sometimes when I come down here and I just see like someone I don't know randomly, they have a can of Waves in their hand. And I'm like, nice. Hell yeah. So it's a cool thing to see.
I just think it's people are so close-minded when it comes to their especially as you get older. You find you get in your lane, you stay in it. Right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
right.
I only drink whiskey, or I only drink tequila, or I only drink Bud Light, or I only drink whatever. It's hard to break that mold. So like being able to break that mold and then say, hey, look, we have something that is probably better just because it's it's handmade right here.
Right.
You should try it. I mean, it's got to be hard, right? I mean,
it is.
You're an uphill battle.
People are creatures of habit, and I think the national numbers show something like 7% of beer drinkers are craft beer drinkers, and I think in Louisiana it's like 3%. So you go into it with the mindset knowing that there's a lot of people that you're not going to ever change, And I think some of that is because, like you said, people are creatures of habit, and some people just they don't know that there's an option that's just as good. I think they see that craft thing and they obviously assume that like these guys are going to feed fucking IPAs and all this other bullshit down
dark beer or hoppy ass.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
we and that's kind of my thing too. Sometimes it's like I want people to tell me like if you only drink Miller Lite, like I'm not gonna judge you. Like I want to know this because I can find you something I promise that you're gonna enjoy. And that's kind of the thing with us. But sometimes people, like you said, they're creatures of habit, or they just are kind of standoffish when it comes to the craft beer scene.
Yeah, we had this older fella not too long ago come in the brewery, and he's like, "Oh, I drink Bud Heavy." I'm like, "Well, shit, buddy, and we better start from the top, like let's start from light. Yeah, let's work our way down." And everything he drank, he thought tasted like shit. And I was like, "Well, I mean, I can't change your mind, And I gave him the lightest beers that we had that I thought would be similar to what he's used to drinking, and he's just like, I can't get down with it, man. Like this, he was upset, and I was like, man, this is all I got, And it's just like you can't please everybody. We try. We have 20 plus beers on tap, so we try to have that plethora of beer for people to enjoy, and especially if they don't drink craft beer. But there's just some people you can't get in there and change that mindset. I mean, I can't help he's been drinking horse piss for his entire life, but I mean. It is what it is, I guess.
I feel like this is better. I mean,
I agree.
This is coming from someone who has absolutely no skin in the game when it comes to beer, because I don't fucking drink it. I did in high school, but I think we all did because we drank whatever we could drink, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I think this one's I think it's jam up, man. I like it.
Yeah, so we plan on doing more of these lighter styles down here, and that's not to say that we won't have like IPAs and sours and stuff on tap, because we will.
We'll have some weird stuff down here.
Sometimes people surprise the shit out of me, man, when they're like, I don't drink all this craft beer, and then they'll mention something like, I drink Ghost in the Machine, though. And it's like...
What type of beer is that? What is that? Is it a Vita?
No, it's a
It's Parish.
So it's like a dry hop IPA.
Double dry hop.
What is that?
Or,
what does that mean?
Dippa. So.
Dippa, yeah. So it's like it's super hoppy.
So it's a light... It's an IPA.
No. It's like it's got this.
This is a lager.
Yeah.
Lager. The darker it is, you know.
So it's got this like yellow golden color.
Okay.
Looks like orange juice.
Yeah. Right? It looks like orange juice.
Like Blue Moon.
More like legit orange juice.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and there's these they call them New England IPAs or hazy IPAs because they have that like orange. They look like orange juice, and it's like people will be like, man, but you know I get down with Ghost in the Machine, and I'm like, that's crazy that you don't fuck with craft beer, but you get down with Ghost in the Machine. Because I guarantee you ask any of these guys down here, like Bo and all them, and say, what's your Ghost in the Machine sales? And I guarantee you they're pretty fucking high.
Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah, they're up there.
It's one of the best beers in the state.
They told me before. It's like our Ghost in the Machine sales are like legit. And it's wild because people just assume that Ghost in the Machine is just a beer, right? Which is brilliant by them to have created such a phenomenal beer that people just associate it with that. They don't know what the style is or nothing. It's like, dude, I got 3 beers up here. They're just like Ghost in the Machine. I promise you. But they like, you know... And we've had that like conversation with them before, and it's like our beer Juice Sport, like it's the same style beer, you know. And Juice Sport's a very popular seller for us, but people don't know that Ghost in the Machine is a double IPA. It's a single IPA, right?
Ghost in the Machine's a dip up.
Yeah, Ghost in the Machine's a double IPA, just like Juice Sport. And
Juice Sport as well.
Juice Sport's a great fucking beer, but you know they know that Ghost in the Machine is what they like, and they don't even know that they like double IPAs, but they do.
They're just drinking Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah.
But it's a very popular beer within the state, though. I mean, that guy Andrew at Parish, he's paved the way for IPAs in the state, I believe. Honestly.
Yeah, he's like one of the top dudes in the country right now. So.
Yeah. They're known nationwide.
Yeah.
100%. People know what Ghost in the Machine is. You go to California, you go to Tennessee. If you say Ghost in the Machine, someone's a craft beer drinker, they know what it is.
I think
I mean, I've seen it. I just had no clue what it was.
People get onto us sometimes. They're like, y'all fanboy over stuff. And it's like, well, dude, you know.
We came from that, though, honestly.
What do you mean? Did they get upset because you're bringing up other brands?
Yeah, and it's like...
Well, we freak out about good beer. Like, we used to have beer shares all the time, and we brewed...
Who says that? Who says that?
I don't know. We've heard people...
Is this like a beer snob
because it's
thing?
Like, but it's everything in general. It's like certain people feel like you're a business owner. You have this great brand.
Why are you talking about
other people?
Oh, fuck that. Yeah.
You know, and it's
I'm
like...
just trying to wrap my head around what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like, I still, like... I don't fucking know everything, dude. Like, I want to know more, like, whether it's business side... Like, with the guys here, like, I want to pick their brain on stuff. Like, why did this work for you? Why did this not work for you? And when I see something that made them, like, super successful, like, I want to know why. Like, what did you do for that to happen? Well, and it's the same thing with, like, other brands of, like, beer. It's, like, that are super successful. Like, I want to emulate that. Like, I want to do that. Like, that was... And there's also, like, a side of it where it's, like, you know, if they do something creative or they do something like new or hype, or like that's a term we use a lot in the craft beer world, is stuff that's hype.
Yeah,
it's like we want to do that too. Like,
well, so you guys got into this. What made you get into this? Like, and say like how many flavors did you start off with when y'all got into this?
Shit, man, we homebrewed
one.
Just one, or
when we homebrewed, I would say like we have this app called Untapped. I don't know if you know what that is, but basically people can get on there and check into your beer. Like they can type in your brewery, and they can click on the beer that they're drinking, and they can rate it and check. It's called checking it in. They can check in with it. When we were homebrewing, I think before we started the brew, we had like 80 plus different beers that we brewed on that app. So that like basically logged everything that we brewed together when we started together. So like, I mean, it was from anything. Like,
y'all were homebrewing and going to events and serving it.
Yeah,
like,
we were traveling, man. Yeah, we were traveling.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, it's been a labor of love from the get go, dude.
Well, that's what gave us the initiative to actually have a brewery. It's just the traveling and having that feedback we're having from people. Like, people come up, hey, man, where can I buy this? Like, man, we don't sell this. We like brew in our garage. I mean, I'll give you like an extra glass of it, but like I can't sell it to you, and we don't sell it anywhere else. They're like, man, I want to invest, and we're like, shit, man, these people want to invest. They want to buy our beer. So like,
we never thought it'd be anything crazy.
That game is strikingly similar to like barbecue competition.
Dude.
Yeah. No, I believe that.
There's so many competitors out there that just cook and they don't have a storefront. They don't cater. They don't do anything. They just,
dude, I mean,
they're doing it for fun, right?
Amazing food. Yeah. And then it turns into something.
Just like us, and then you do some good barbecue too, and you're familiar with the barbecue scene. We've always loved the barbecue scene, but there's something eerie, fucking similar between the barbecue scene and the craft beer scene.
I think there's craft barbecue, and then there's barbecue. You understand?
I've noticed that because I've been doing a lot of competition. Competition barbecues way different than restaurant barbecue, and restaurant barbecue is way different than craft barbecue. And I'm trying to fill in the gap between all three of them. Because I'm never going to be as amazing as craft barbecue because those guys are just fucking phenomenal. We got homies like
Bad Wolf, baby,
Bad Wolf, and then
Sunbird.
Like those dudes, like fuck, man, like I
fucking incredible, man.
Dude, I'm never going to be this fucking good. But like, just try my pulled pork on me. Like, I know I got that down. That's it, But like, dude,
those dudes, that Sunbird and Bad Wolf, man,
they live and breathe.
Yes, yeah.
And that's like what they do is like a fucking like labor. I mean, it's beyond that.
But y'all are doing the same thing with beer. Is what I'm getting at.
I agree.
You really are.
I agree.
Because the way you talk about that is this. And when I talk to those guys about barbecue, because I nerd out over the barbecue shit. When I talk to them about that shit, I get the same exact feedback. You know what I mean? So I know that you guys are the same way with this. You know, and it's like those guys wouldn't give a fuck if they're making money or not. They want their products to be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and I think you guys
that's correct.
The same way.
Dude, I talked to Andrew one time, like, especially with this place. I was like, man, it'd be cool with like, even like at worst case, you came in, you designed our menu, like helped us, gave us some pointers, and he's like, I could teach you how to do this. Like, I was like, motherfucker, I ain't making boudin, dude. Like, it's like, you're not about to have me up at 6. I got enough on my plate. I can't be up at 6 a.m. tending the briskets. Like, it's not happening. Then that's like, I've always kind of related to what they do, and that's why I love the barbecue scene so much, because I see it. I see the same kind of the hustle, the grind, the like just trying to make it type thing, And
I agree. I think it's all the same, man.
Those dudes work their ass off, man. And all y'all do.
There's so much that goes into anything. I mean, what you guys do, the barbecue scene, like, there's so much that go into that people have no clue about. They just think end product.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand, like, okay, you don't like this, but why don't you try this? Because I guarantee you, it's the same thing with barbecue. I guarantee you I can find you something you like.
Absolutely.
Even though you say you don't like barbecue, I fucking guarantee you out of all these things, I can find you something that you fucking like. And it's the same thing with beer. Like, I know, like, I like this Don Pablo, okay? I like it. I know I just can't drink a lot of it because it's going to give me heartburn. But I know I can pound these fucking limit lights and it'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a wild thing, man. I don't know. We're getting there, man.
What's something that you guys never like, something you've experienced along this journey that you just were like, holy fuck, I can't believe this is happening?
Honestly, the friends that we've made.
Yeah. Like,
seriously. I mean, that's what I think about all the time, like the friendships that we've made through the industry.
Yeah.
Like, going to these CBC events, was Craft Brewers Conference, and like, you might be drinking a beer next to someone, then you start a conversation, and they're like, let's fucking brew together. Like, and they're from some brewery in fucking Connecticut, And I mean, it's just the friendships that we've made and the things that you learn from these other people that are in the same industry. Like, it's awesome, man, because, like, I feel like, there's these people that don't want to get along with each other because you're in competition. But most of the time in the craft beer industry, I've found that, like, everyone wants to get along. Everyone wants to brew together. Everybody wants to share their knowledge with you. And to me, that's the biggest thing that we've gotten out of it, because we've made some really good friends out of this business.
I think, like, the relationships that I've made through this, like, like we've talked about these people, like to be able to bring like certain musicians in that you're like, man, this is, or throw these events, or people like Brian at Sunbird.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know the fuck I was, right? But little does he know, me and Colby had eaten his barbecue for what? Like, you know,
For a while, dude.
a long fucking time, dude. Like, we used to, it'd be like lunchtime when we'd be both off and be like, fuck it, let's drive to Longview. So we drive to Longview, you know, and we go to Bodacious on Marble when he was out there.
Yeah, back when he was there.
I remember seeing him there. Like, he didn't know who the fuck we were.
And then
I didn't know who he was, but he served his barbecue.
When the 7 Tap opened, and he was actually opening Sunbird at the same time the 7 Tap was open. So it gave me an opportunity to, like, reach out to him, and, you know, it's like, I don't know, to have that platform to bring someone, like, that I've never met, but whose food I fucking idolized and loved, and have that opportunity to, like, form a friendship with him. Like, that kind of stuff is cool. Like,
Well, it's just like with South Texas Tweak.
South Texas Tweak, you know, is a local musician, not local.
Well, he's from Houston.
He's from Houston, yeah. But Colby had been listening to forever, and Colby's a big fan, and I like to listen to him. He sounds like Charlie Crockett. So
Okay, gotcha.
It's like a mixture, in my opinion, of Charlie Crockett and like Sturgill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to check him out. I saw you guys had him. I was like, who's this dude? I
Yeah.
had to check
So
him out.
I'm a fanboy, dude. That dude, he's awesome
So
in my
kind of thing
mind.
where Colby was like, you need to book this dude, and then I like message him, and I'm like, hey man, what would it take to get you? And you know, he shot me a price, and I was like, oh, we could do that all day, dude. So he came up, and we got to kick it with him, and
Yeah, we're chilling with him, taking pictures. I'm like, dude,
honestly,
this is fucking cool.
Just talking to the dude was worth like the fucking price of admission, just because he was like, man, yeah. Have you heard of Paul Coffin?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I love Paul, right?
Cocaine Country Dancing, bro.
Yeah.
He just got arrested.
He just got
free my boy, dude.
just let him out though, right?
Yeah, he's free now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're talking and we're just shooting shit and we're talking about Paul, and he's like, man, I kicked it with Paul one time. We got drunk as fuck, and he threw me the keys to his Range Rover, and that was like cool to me. And then like
Just hearing stories like
Stories,
how
like
he was
people that you
songwriting with Charlie Crockett, like some of the songs he wrote with Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, like doing all this stuff with these people that are like they're making it, they're big now,
Yeah.
and he's getting to that point where he's going to be one of them. You know what I mean? And he's at our brewery, hanging out with us, shooting shit.
just shooting shit in this little room, and he don't drink because I think he almost died like a while back from.
Yeah, he went through some health complications. He lived that rock star life, honestly, because he was touring with these guys, man, like touring all over the place, and he was doing God knows what, and he was in the hospital for a while.
Just
So
to hear stories about like him, like people, like he was talking about Tyler Childers at one point, like who else, like Culture Wall. He's like, Culture, he's great, you know, this and that. And it's like, damn, dude.
Well, it's funny, like just like you idolize these people that like big beer nuts. You probably are beer like brewers that you meet. You're like, holy fuck, this is this dude.
Absolutely.
But it's so funny, like they all had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like we were in a barbecue. We did Hawks for the Cause this year. We were down there, and we're teamed up with Squill Team. I mean, our team's right here, and right next to us is Squill Team 6.
that's a great name.
And, awesome. It's a dude's he's a Navy SEALs guy. Put this team together. He does work for the college, and he raises money for like. They do veteran support, like by teaching people how to do barbecue and stuff to help, like with PTSD. Pretty cool shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, they had Grant Pinkerton and Blake. I can't think of Blake's last name, but Grant Pinkerton has fucking I'm drawing a blank. Come and Get It barbecue in San Antonio, like fucking rib champion of the fucking world.
Wow.
And I'm right here, and we're making sauces. And he comes over and he tries my sauce. I'm like, man, because for our ribs, we're about to turn in ribs.
Yeah.
And he tries our sauce, and he's like, man, it could be spicier. I was like, man, I don't know. That seems like it's going to be too spicy. He's like, hold on, I'm going to bring mine over here, try mine. I was like, fuck. He's like, yeah, I'm telling you. So, like, just have it, and, like, just being, like, right there beside a motherfucker who's a grand champion fucking rib slayer. And helping me in my first, like, big-ass competition.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, but they all had to start where we started. You know what I mean?
That's wild. I think that's the thing. It's like, it gives you a different platform to where, like you said, like, you meet these people, but then but they also know people that, like, you fucking idolize, too. That's like, oh, that's my boy from so-and-so, and you're like, damn, did you kick it with that dude?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. You're like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's just crazy how that works, man.
How
really
was that, dude? Hogs for the Cause.
Dude, it was amazing. Y'all got to come next year.
I've always wanted to go.
You should sponsor it, and we'll bring a bunch of 7 Tap.
Dude.
Fuck
just
yeah.
saying.
I'll load the truck down, dude.
I'm just saying.
It's you and Peanut and...
me, Peanut, Meeker, and Josh.
We just got to get Peanut off that Coors Light.
Bro.
That's
gonna be tough work. That's gonna be tough work.
That's number one on the list.
You can do that when you get down here and put his face on.
Dude, I saw that podcast y'all did here by the end of the podcast. That thing was stacked.
Yeah, I'm trying to stack myself right now. I was trying to get on peanut level, dude.
No, dude, but I think I enjoy all of it, dude.
I think that's what, like, it's great that you do get a platform to, like, do some cool shit and meet some cool people. I think that's awesome. And I mean, I think like when you had Bo and Pino on here, they were talking about like some of the people they've met, and you know, I'm looking forward to that. You know, because me and Colby, like, we either talk beer, we talk music, or we talk food. That's it. That's it. You know.
What else is there to talk about?
Exactly.
It's a perfect combination,
but,
right?
You know, stuff like that. Like, it's like it'll be cool. I don't know. And then every once in a while, I'm like, Bo, you need to check this fucking dude out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they got the stage for it, man.
That brings that. Why not? You know, right? Because like you're going to bring. There's already a set demographic here, and they're constantly trying new things. But you're going to bring a totally different one,
right?
And you can implement that and integrate that. And what I'm excited is about people seeing that integrated because they've never seen that here.
Right.
It's either you go over here for that experience, you come over here for this experience.
That's right.
When they see that experience integrated, it's gonna be fucking magic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's a place for
it
everything.
also gives us a platform too, because there's things that where it's like, I don't know, like there might be some country artists out there because lately Colby and them got me on the country music, dude. And
shit!
I've changed.
I'm on it.
He bought a cowboy hat, man.
Yeah,
But your country and everybody's country's a little different.
Yeah.
I like where y'all going on the country.
Yeah, and there's artists out there where it's like it would never make sense for me to bring this person here,
right?
Financially, but here it's very fucking doable.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah, you know, so stuff like that. I think like I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. I think that's going to be great. So,
how do you think a comedy show would do down here?
I think it would be fucking phenomenal.
I do
you can
too.
get a big act. I didn't want to bring that up. I'm glad you brought it up.
No, dude, I'm down for it.
I brought up the comedy to see if that would get brought up.
Yeah.
Because I think it would do fucking amazing.
I do too.
I'm glad Bo and Pino are going to listen to this thing on here. Like, you have the space to do it. You can get large acts here.
Yeah.
And you can bring that scene back here where it doesn't have to be at a fucking auditorium.
Yeah,
or a
that's
fucking
right.
entire, event space.
Yeah.
To where you can make it work because those comics play comedy clubs that are tiny that only have 100 tickets.
100%.
And they're okay with doing venues on the road to a larger show. So why not? And I think it'd be fucking phenomenal, dude. Because you got to have something to break it up. You can't have music every fucking night. You just can't.
Yeah.
Like you can. You know what I mean? And it would be fine, but like to break it up and bring different demographics in, try different things out, and have a scene for everyone. You know what
Absolutely,
I mean?
yeah. And they could bring someone. I mean, obviously we have really good local comedy, but like they could actually bring like a good act here.
That's what's great. It's just like music, right?
Yep.
So when you have a large like headliner comic, then you bring in your local comics to open up for them.
Yeah.
And so they get exposure to the large comics.
That's right.
So it'd be great for the local comedy scene, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with bands. When they have all these big bands here, these local artists open for those big bands.
Badass.
They get introductions there, and then possibly network up to the top. So it's the same exact concept. And dude, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, I'll tell you, dude, man, comedy is making a comeback. Like, I feel like it went through a drought for a little while, right?
Yeah, like you had Cat Williams, and that was pretty much, Kevin Hart, and then it kind of, you weren't really,
right.
But I think COVID really took our attention to like quit taking ourselves so fucking serious. You know what
Absolutely, I
mean?
agree.
Like start breaking it up a little.
Let's
bit.
fucking laugh together, have a good time together.
I think I think podcasts too.
That helps a lot. Yeah,
100%.
You know, that like all these comedians like kind of, you have other avenues to like listen to them, like Theo Vaughn, for example.
Yeah, man, motherfucker's crazy. I love Theo.
I mean, of course, Rogan started it all. I've never thought Rogan was like the funniest dude. But
dude, I saw him live last year. It's amazing in Fort
Really?
Worth. Yeah,
I want to go to the new Mothership, his new comedy.
Well, let's get together and do it because I want to too. I was thinking fall, but y'all may be opening, but maybe let's talk about
Dude,
that later.
I'm down to go for that.
We need to go. I've been wanting to go, and then don't make a fuck one night of the week you go. There's going to be a great.
He has great
every night
lineups, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you have fucking Ron White playing there. You have fucking
dude.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
I mean, who?
Yeah.
You name it.
Theo's been there. Fucking
Theo's
Joey
just there.
Diaz,
Yeah,
dude.
Diaz.
Joey
Yeah.
Diaz. I want to see Joe Diaz 100%. That motherfucker Motherfucker's crazy. Bitch, get it together.
All of them, dude. All of them. Like they're all amazing in their own right, and I love that. It's very similar to what they're doing down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative effort to bring everyone up.
Yep.
And
Dude,
I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
I think they'd kill here with the comedy show for sure.
Well, we're putting it out there first, so
Yeah, I need them to listen to this and get it in their heads. They might not agree with it, but I think it'd kick ass. Honestly,
hey, I'm gonna rally for it for y'all. I'm excited about it. That'd be awesome. Well, look, let's wrap this thing up. How can everybody find you? People who don't know who you are, where you at on Instagram?
So we're at V7 Tap, but there's actually a 7 Tap East Bank page that's been created.
Okay.
Which that'll probably keep you up to date on like the construction, all the happening. I haven't really announced it yet, but it's already got like 400 or 500 followers. But it's just a page, but like, which is great. But like, I want to, if you need to see what's going on down here, keep up with the 7 Tap East Bank, but also keep up with the 7 Tap page that's on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and it's gonna be good, dude. We got some amazing things planned. Amazing. I think
big things coming.
I think this is going to be great.
Awesome. Any last words? Anything else? Any final thoughts?
I just appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course.
I know Jose's a regular here. So, you gotta get Sam on next time, though. Yeah. And let's do it. You need to do a little series.
We'll do a 3-way. Or 4-way, I guess.
Let's do a 4-way.
All right, let's wrap it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.